In this video, we will be installing the DHCP server role onto server core. We will also be performing the objectives that you see on your screen. So the first thing we're going to do is add this server to the Lucerne publishing domain. The command for this is very simple. We just can netdom join core01, which is the name of our server, /domain, and the domain name, which in our case will be lucernpublishing.com, and then the administrative account, which is administrator, as well as our password. As soon as we enter our password and click enter, you can see that we have successfully joined the domain, and we have to restart just to make some finalized changes. So we're going to issue the shutdown command to take care of that. And fast forward through time, and here is the system info command just to show you guys that we are joined to the domain, as you can see right there. So the next thing we would like to do is we would like to install the DHCP server role on server core. And start /w's space OC setup space DHCP server core. That will install it. And now we want to set it to start automatically. So we type in sc config DHCP server start equals auto, and see we get our success message there. And now we are going to start the DHCP service. So go to net start DHCP server, and get an indication that it's starting, and we get a success message. Next, we are going to authorize this DHCP server in Active Directory. We type in net sh DHCP server or DHCP add server and our computer name core01, as well as its IP address. The reason it's giving us this error message is because we are not logged in as a domain administrator. Right now we are logged in on the administrator account on core01. Now that we have logged out and logged back in as a domain administrator, we'll now be able to add this server, or authorize this server in Active Directory, as you can see here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a scope to our DHCP server. So this, we type in net sh DHCP server, and then the IP address of our server, then add scope, and then 192.168.1.0, which will be our network address. Those are subnet mask, and our name of the scope, which is server core scope. As you can see, we get the command completed successfully message. Next, we're going to add an exclusion, and we do this by typing net sh DHCP server, and again our IP address, and then our scope 192.168.1.0, and now we're going to do add IP range, which is going to be 192.168.1.10. And what this is just our starting and ending IP address for this scope. The next thing we'll be doing is adding an exclusion to our DHCP server. We do this by typing in net sh DHCP server and the IP address for our server and the current scope that we've been working with, and then add exclude range, and then the IP address where we start to exclude and where we end to exclude, which is .10 and .15. Now if we wanted to exclude only one address, we would go 192.168.1.10 and then 192.168.1.10 again. Next, we'll be adding a reservation to the DHCP server. We're going to be reserving this machine's address, which I know doesn't make a difference because it's statically assigned, but in the event of expansion and we end up extending our IP range, which includes the one on this machine, we won't have to bother with it because it will already be excluded. Remember, anytime we make a reservation, we need the MAC address of the computer that we're reserving it for. And this is what I'm typing in right now. Then here's where we type in the name of the reservation. And we could put a description, but we're just going to leave it empty. And then both stands for bootp as well as DHCP. The next thing we're going to be doing is adding a default gateway to the DHCP server. Do this by typing netsh DHCP server and our IP address, then the current scope we're working with, and then we're going to do set option value, which is 003, and then IP address, and then 192.168.1.1, which is our default gateway. This would be get command completed successfully. And this time we're going to go option 6, which is the DNS server. And we're going to edit our IP address, which is 1.100. And that completed successfully as well. Now in order for all of these commands to actually take effect, we have to actually activate the scope. And to do that, we type in netsh DHCP server and our IP address and the scope we're working with. We use set state 1, which that pretty much activates the scope so that we can start pulling IP addresses from it. Now we're going to test everything out. I moved over to one of our partner servers, and we're going to go to command prompt and type in ipconfig/renew so that it refreshes. As you can see, we pulled an IP address 192.168.1.16. The reason we didn't pull 10 is because we added an exclusion from a range from 10 to 15. So the first one we would get anyway is 192.168.1.16. As you can see, we also have our default gateway and the IP address of server core, which was our DHCP server, as well as the DNS server that we configured. This concludes my video for Lab 3 and INTC 2030.